Yo my people them, CFC Race Blue, back with another video. As you can tell from the title, it's just about, this video just basically about the reason why we won't finish in the top 4. And it's down to a lack of our attacking threat. It's also down to cohesion, but this is just a thing that's been brewing for a couple of seasons now. Like for me, I don't see why we're a team that will take like 1 step forward and 2 steps backwards. For instance, under Frank Lampard, at a time where we didn't where we lost the best player that we've had in like literally the last nearly 10 years in Eden Hazard, and to bring through academy graduates into a team where no one expected us to finish in the top 4, we did. And the reason for that is the fact that we could score goals. Because in that season, our defence was absolutely rubbish, absolutely poor, but yet we still finished in the top 4. Sure, it's down to other teams not reaching their full potential, but at a time where our ceiling was very little, we went above expectations and finished in the top 4. Then, the season after next, we finished in the top 4 again by the skin of our teeth, but that season it's more so down to our defense why we did. That's the reason why. It was down to our defense why we finished in the top 4. And then if you look at last season, it was the best balance that we've had probably since the last time we won the Premier League last season in terms of attack and defense, which enabled us to finish the highest we've had finished since the 18-19 season, 3rd, with more points than we did. But now it's like, for me, it's like we're back in that time where Lampard first came in, but it's the roles reversed. Our defence is the thing that will enable us to finish in the top 4. Obviously, with niggles and injuries, Reece James and N'Golo Kante, we can't necessarily guarantee that we could. But for me, our defence is the one thing for the last couple of years that I feel that we can't, that we that we can always rely on. Whether that's Mendy and goal, Kepa and goal, and whether it's our defenders, whichever ones play, Koulibaly, or if it was Rudiger, if it was Thiago Silva, if it was Christensen, Trevor Chalobah, Aspilicueta, you can always seem reliable to get the best result from our defence, because realistically, over the history, that's been the best thing about us. But that's not why we are here today. That's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is the reflection of, in a season where Lampard came in, took players like Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, Christian Pulisic, and got literally the best out of them to score as many goals as we could, to finish in the top 4 by scraping it on the last day. We now have an attack force who don't seem to have the amount of chemistry needed. We don't seem to have cohesion with the attack. We can't score goals. We can't take shots. A proof of that is the fact that in the Premier League this season so far, we could drop today outside the top 10 based on other teams playing, but we have taken like the least amount of shots, definitely in the top 6 than any other team, and realistically there's at least 10 other teams right now that could probably say they've had more shots than us. Sure, all shots don't necessarily mean more goals, but more shots inevitably give you more chance of scoring goals, which we just can't seem to do. We can't seem to score goals on a consistent basis where we don't have to rely on our defence to have such a great game to keep us in a match. We can't. Sure, there's spurts where players play well, score goals, yes, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough, especially in this Premier League season where so many other teams have got better. So many other teams have got better. Man United have got better. Newcastle have got better. Arsenal have got better. Tottenham have got better. City have got better, but they're a foregone conclusion that they would always finish in the top 4. That was a foregone conclusion. But everyone else, they have improved. They could all look at their attack and rely on them to score goals, because Man United have guys that have scored more goals than ours. Arsenal definitely do. Man City do. Tottenham do. Liverpool do. Newcastle probably do. And it's just, this is the reason why this season is going to be more hard for us to finish in the top 4, based on in other seasons other teams were not at this level, whereas more teams in our vicinity in terms of top 6 have grown and got better. We, as much money as we did spend, the most in the Premier League, we still can't find the cohesion to get our attackers to play the best type of football, to get the best results, to be as threatening, because you don't feel threatened that much when Chelsea attack comes at you. Look at Manchester United just yesterday. Look at them yesterday. We couldn't do niche. If it wasn't thanks to a penalty, we were not scoring. We was not scoring. And why does it have to rely on a penalty kick to get a goal? Why? Why do we need this? It's just the fact that our attack simply just isn't good enough. It simply isn't good enough. Kai Havertz, a player who we all thought would go to the next level after the season he had last season, and more so the fact that he needs to have a better season this season, he is rubbish. He is the deadest attacker we've had this season, because what we expected from you, you are nowhere near close. Nowhere near close to hitting that level. Nowhere near close. Raheem Sterling, he comes in, he's played well, probably our best attacker this season, but it still ain't good enough. It still ain't good enough. Aubameyang's come in, he's played less games than them lot, but he's a person that relies on a lot of service to get in behind, and we just do not have the creativity in the midfield in order to get the amount of passes towards him to create chances. It simply isn't the case. Just saying. Mason Mount, someone you would say isn't even an attacker / midfielder, he's been playing well, but the level of consistency that we need in order to finish in the top 4, we're just not hitting it. We really ain't. And it's more of a bad look on us, based on the fact that how far people would have thought that we was last season compared to other teams. To now, people could make the statement to say that we are the worst team in the top 6. You could make that based on how we played our football, based on our results. You could say that we are a team that just can't seem, when we play a big team, to get a result in terms of like a win. Tottenham this season, yes, we should have got a win. Was we hard done by? Yes, but we still conceded a goal in the last minute. Manchester United, were we the better team? No, we weren't. Did we nearly still win? Yes, we did. But what happened? We conceded. We allowed teams to pressure us. And why is that? Because our attack can't hold up the ball to take the game to the other team in the other half. Our midfield, Jorginho, he can hold up the ball very well, but there's only so much he can do. Kovacic ain't Kante. Kante being now is the biggest miss for us. Reece James is the best player for us this season, but N'Golo Kante, he is the biggest piece that we need in this team, because without him, our midfield just can't do enough. It can't. Kante is one of those generational players that will come along very few years. And for him to not play basically up until January or even February now, it's dead. You have to be happy that there is a World Cup in the middle of the season that's going to benefit us, but it's just the attack. I do not feel confident. We can't score goals, can't create chances. We don't have different profiles of players. Like, for me, we definitely just need to just play Armando Broja as a striker, or just find a formation we can get the best out of players, play with wingers. In this inside 10 thing, it can't be running like that. It can't be working anymore. People are clocking it, and we just need to change it up. Obviously, Graham Potter's only been here for a short period of time, and this issue that we have with the attacking threat goes longer than him. It's in the Tuchel. It's since Tuchel's come in as well. We just lack that attacking threat. Obviously, there are games where we have played very well, had great performances, whether it's like a Real Madrid, or whether it's in the Champions League against AC Milan or Juventus, where we play amazing football and have the goals to go with it. But majority of the time, it's just not the case. And with how the Premier League is going, all these teams getting better, the fight for top four, this is going to be the hardest fight for top four that we've had in a long time. And right now, based on how we're going, I don't even feel that confident that we will get top four right now. Just due to the fact that when we play against the big teams, we simply just can't get a result. We can't get the win, because at the end of the day, that's what we need. And then against the little teams, you've already seen it this season. Look at a team like Leeds, destroyed us. Look at a team like Leicester, we got the win, but it was live. Aston Villa, we got a draw, but we should have lost. Brentford, we should have lost. So many games, and even against a team like Southampton, we allowed them to come from behind to win. Like, for me, it's just absolutely frustrating to know that we always take a one step forward and then 2 steps back, and everything's going to be a gamble. Because if we need to upgrade this attack force, are we really going to buy players that will benefit the system? And what is the system, the project that they will need to come into? Because we've wasted so much money, X amount of millions on forwards. Only what? The best attacker that we've had that scored goals for us in the last 4 years is a player that we came through our academy in Tammy Abraham, in which we sold. Lukaku, dead. 8 goals in the Premier League season, dead. Werner, even worse, 6 goals, dead. Like, we need to spend money correctly. We really need to. And that's for me, like I said, this is going to be the reason why we don't get to top 4. Is our attacking threat. Everywhere else on the pitch is good enough to get into the top 4. It is just the attacking threat. We don't score goals, we don't win games, and that's what will help us to get more points in the table. So for me, we just need to pattern up. Hopefully we can get better as the season goes on, but right now, based on the performances, you just can't, like, you hope that we get top 4, but you can't really say hand on heart that we definitely will. So we just need to pan up our attack. Players need to do better. Some players need to hold the bench in order to find their best form, but yeah, man, we just need to pattern up in our attack force, because it simply isn't good enough. We are the worst attack force in the top 6. We are the worst. This time last year you wouldn't have said that. So yeah, man, we just need to pattern up. But that's going to be it from me. regarding this regarding this video, whatever you want to call it. But leave your thoughts and opinions in your comment section below. Like, share and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat and Facebook for more Chelsea content. I'm CFC Realist Blue and I'm out. Peace.